Alright, it's my first morning waking up here, and this was my bed last night.
Alright, so for today, I start filming for the most random video idea I've had for a little bit. I look back at the most recent period of my life, the past year and a half or two or so, and I have to say it's pretty close to the worst period of my life, especially over such a long period of time. I've always gotten hopeless and despair feelings pretty easily. I do basically nothing all day. I make no progress towards anything at all. And now I've moved to try and make my life a little better, and it's been a little bit over a week now, and I've noticed that I'm doing the exact same thing. So just being in a new place is not enough for me to actually change anything. I've got to really try. And so over this next week or two, I'm going to try to really figure out something to do, to try and figure out how I'd make a change, and to figure out how to fight what I let myself become. I'm about the least creative I've been ever, and I just do absolutely as little as possible every day. And that's how it's been for at least a year and a half. I can't really say exactly how it's got this way, so all I can do is try to do something different. Even just the act of making this video will help me out a little bit. I woke up about 10 today, which is earlier than I usually do, and I did about 30 or 40 minutes of homework, and then the rest of the day has just been on my phone so far. It's 6:30 in the evening right now. Finally, I've escaped and I made myself go do something. So I'm gonna start out by looking for a basketball hoop that's closer to my house because I know where one is, but it's about 15 minutes away. And then if I don't find one, or just after I finish playing basketball, I'm gonna go for a hike in the woods. And actually where that basketball hoop is, it's a park, and there's so many trails to walk on there. Moving here has been really nice. This place I've moved to is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. So I think if there's any place I can be to escape these dark feelings, here should be a place I can do it. All right, so I did find a new basketball hoop that's a little bit close to my house, only 10 minutes away. New nearest one found. But I realized I had to go hiking first because it's getting dark, and the woods get a little creepy at night for me. It smells so good out here. If I can't figure out anything else to do certain days, going hiking in the forest is going to be my main activity for sure. Like if I feel I need to go do something and I have nothing else for that day, this will be my go-to definitely. There's so many places I can go. It's a pretty big forest. Also, I forgot to say, 2 days ago when I went to play basketball at that one park I knew about, a random guy a little bit younger than me was walking by with his girl or something, and he challenged me to a one-on-one, which I don't think he would have guessed how much that meant to me. That's the first time I've actually done something with somebody here. It felt good. I couldn't have asked for it to be better. I was just going shooting by myself. So that was a good introduction to this video. See you another day.
Alright, so we've skipped to day 3 because yesterday I guess I was just too busy, or I just forgot to film it all. Started the day off pretty productive, had a job interview in the morning. Then I had to do schoolwork pretty much all day to beat the deadline, because among all the problems I have, I'm also a really bad procrastinator. But even so, I still somehow got like 9 or 10 hours on my phone yesterday. I think that's one of my main problems. Then I also had 2 designated activities to try and feel better. I worked out, and then I watched a movie. Both those activities I haven't done since I got here. They felt pretty good. I watched the movie E.T. for the first time in full for sure, because if I watched any part of it, the last time I would have been when I was like below 10 for sure. Solid movie. I'm gonna visit my parents and sister for the next 2 or 3 days, but once I get back, I gotta focus again on living in a way that feels better. This is truly the most stressful time period of my life in a long time. I got back from my parents last night and figured out that my key was stuck in my ignition with the car on. So today's first mission is try to get that whole cylinder out of the steering wheel, because if I don't fix it myself, it looks like it should be very expensive. And then to relax tonight, since it's Saturday, I'll go clubbing in downtown, but I don't drink, so it's basically just going to be me wandering around. This is day number 2 of working on it. I was just finally able to get this portion off. This is the ignition. This is what I got to take out, this whole gray metal. I think it just has some screws holding it in that I got to drill into. So this is taking a lot longer than I hoped, but I'm getting there, I think. Okay, so I'd say it's been a really bad week. Ever since my key got stuck in my car, I've kind of like fallen apart totally. Yesterday I played chess on my phone for like 7 hours straight, and it only felt like a couple hours, so that's a sign that I'm doing really bad. But today I got complete confirmation that I'm hired for sure for this job, which I interviewed for like a week and a half ago, so I can start doing a little better. I also woke up the earliest I have in like 5 days today. I woke up at 11, whereas for the past like 3 or 4 days in a row, I woke up at like 1 to 3 in the afternoon, just because I've been falling asleep between like 4 and 6 in the morning on those days. So even though it's already been like a week and a half at least since I started filming for this video, I want to keep it going at least a week longer, just until I feel like I've sorted myself out a little better. Dude, it's 1:30 in the morning right now. I got this screw loose. Look at that, it's finally out. I was stuck on that for like 3 or 4 hours a day. I thought I was never going to get it out. You have no idea how much dread that was putting upon me. Now I have to get the other one.
which might not even go faster, but I know it's possible now. Tonight was a little bit of torture, not gonna lie. And then just like that, I got this other one. It literally took less than 5 minutes now that I know how to do it. You hear that? I did it. It works. All right, I'm going for some kind of random thing today. Last weekend I was walking around on the docks just around the ocean, and randomly there was this guy on a yacht who was cooking something, and I walked by him. He said good evening to me, and I said it back, and we talked for about 5 minutes. And he gave me his card and said email him, and then he emailed me to call him, and then he invited me to come onto the boat today. He and I just had breakfast. We talked for about 45 minutes. It's the end of the boating season, so I knew that we weren't really going to go out anywhere. We just stayed attached to the dock. But hey, I still got onto a vessel that was floating on the ocean. Now in my life, I've been on the ocean twice. The second or third weekend I was here, there was this like steamboat festival going on. So I rode in a canoe on that day. I think what this guy had is like a small yacht. I think that's what kind of is. Actually, one of the most interesting guys I probably could have come across. He was in the Navy during the Vietnam War, and he rode on submarines. And then afterwards, he went to college for mechanical engineering. And then throughout his life, he's owned and sold multiple businesses. He's just lived it up. I'm glad I got to meet him and talk for a little while. Of course, this is a battle that never really ends. I filmed that last clip 5 months ago, and times actually got a lot worse since then. I'm feeling more optimistic than I have for a little bit. I'm still going. Also, I figured out this is kind of an unofficial entry into a video series I'm kind of starting. And the main idea of it is that I believe individually we've probably reached less than 10% of the potential of what we could be. I'm preparing the first actual video for that series, so that'll be up within a couple weeks. I decided to make it a video series because I realized a lot of the video ideas I had centered around those same themes. Thanks for watching.